So it is 7 o'clock. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to last deck meeting in current 2025-2026 program year. Today we are going to see current area directors, division directors, of course, 2026 and 2027 leaders, including senior staff and area directors and division directors. With this, I would like to invite our CGD, Liz Keeling, to energize us with the district mission.
Thank you, Mohan. Our district mission is we build new clubs and support all clubs in achieving excellence. Back to you, sir.
So thank you. Today, I would like to go through agenda. We have a 2-hour agenda. First, we will go through division director reports. Afterwards, we will move into our senior staff updates. Afterwards, of course, we have a special guest today. We enter into training segment by past international president Richard Peck on it is not too late until it is too late. So we will be having fun today, and of course there will be a lot of interactive sessions also. Looking at 2 hours time and lengthy agenda, I request all the leaders, presenters, as concise and as clear so that we get to learn more, we get to interact more. With this, who would like to go first? Anne, would you like to kick off? You want me to share the presentation? Give me a few seconds here. Let me share this. So let me go to. Wow, he sent me 63 pages report.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you. It's one of the perks, I think, of being Division A director. You get to go first, unless you're late, and then it's not so much a perk. Luckily, I'm not late today. So we've had some, challenges this year, but we've also had quite a few achievements. As you can see right now, in areas 11 and 12, we have 3 clubs that have reached distinguished. Greater Stamford, IBM Poughkeepsie, and the bureaucrats have reached select distinguished. In addition, we have 2 Toastmasters, myself and Amy Chu, which is reaching DTM, which is fantastic. A number of Triple Crowns, a training award, and in many places, some good growth. I really want to applaud the bureaucrats, not only for their club and their club leadership, but also for their club coach and their area director, who in many cases are the same person. Irene Hansen earned her own Triple Crown and also worked tirelessly, both as a club officer and an area director, to bring that club up to distinguished, and she's done an incredible job. On the next slide, we have areas 13 and 14, where you'll see we also have Bowringer reaching distinguished and Southern Duchess at select distinguished. We have a number of awards. I'm not going to read through every single one of them. I want to note Catskill Toastmasters. It happens to be my home club. We're not going to make distinguished because of membership challenges, but we haven't had an incredible education year. And so I just want to applaud everyone, even though a number of these clubs are not going to make distinguished, their members are still working very hard. They're using pathways, they're earning their levels, and I'm just so proud of all of them. So we've had, in many ways, a really great year. Southern Duchess is going crazy over there. Triple Crowns, lots of levels, 15 new members recruited. really incredible year for them. We'll have to find out what their secret is. Spread it out across the area and division. Moving on to challenges and opportunities. We have had Norwalk is below 12 members, but they do have 11 active members and they're getting very close. And I just spoke with them today. They're getting their officer list submitted by June 22nd at their next meeting. So I'm excited about that. Inspira Marketing is also doing a great job despite some setbacks. And CIS Center for Internet Security could make distinguished. Dutchess County Toastmasters is only 2 points away, but they're also struggling with membership, which is sort of the theme of challenges for us. Barnum Square. We had a meeting today. We are 1 member from distinguished, 3 members from select. I don't think we're going to make select, but we are going to make distinguished. We had a visitor today that looks like they're going to convert. So I'm super excited for them. Worcester Heights is also below 12, but they have 11 active members. Curtis Magnus, Bethel, also below 12, but working hard to come back. And we've got WestCon is also just a couple points from distinguished. And as I mentioned already, Catskill Toastmasters, their membership requirement, and West Point Toastmasters, another club that's got a lot of education, lots of goals have been met there, lots of level earning, but they're having a membership challenge for distinguished. And our last slide is our thought for the year. I really wanted to include my 2 area directors who worked tirelessly this year, covering other areas. We really had to both stretch and pull together as a team. And we have a lot of lessons learned. One of the things I want to highlight is how glad we are that we started meeting monthly as a division team from the very beginning. I believe we started at the end of June, which I'm hoping to replicate this year. Area directors were encouraged to support one another and collaborate across areas, and they did that beautifully and focused on practical support and encouragement for the clubs. We want to more things we want to do more of are monitoring membership trends early, promoting steady, sustainable growth, providing centralized resources that make it easier for our division leaders, and spend more time listening during meetings, creating space for others to share ideas and solutions. Some things I won't be doing or will be avoiding: waiting for DCP deadlines to start growth conversations, assuming everyone knows where to find information or what comes next. That's going to be part of providing centralized resources, and not spreading ourselves too thin, maybe volunteering for too many additional responsibilities, which then makes our primary responsibilities a little more difficult to carry out. I have comments both from both my area directors. I understand that there'll be time later for them to share, and I hope that they will. So I won't be going over their notes specifically, but they had some really great things for us to think about. And these were sort of things they wish they had then and will have going forward.
Thank you, Anne. We can take one question. Liz, can you check? I'm unable to see any. No questions.
No questions and nothing in the chat.
Wow. Oh, thank you. Clean update. Sharon, would you like to go?
Sure. Thank you, Mohan. For our division achievements, I broke it down into operation area, growth and longevity, and individual member brilliance. And the reason I did that is because we had some really outstanding individuals as well as a lot of clubs and areas. So from one of the things that we did really well with my dream team from Division B was we focused on at the beginning of the year 100% on time compliance, which was the club success plan, round one area visits were completed on time, and on-time club renewals. So we focused very heavily on that, and it showed because most of the time we hit 100%. From an area perspective, our Area 21 is distinguished. We had 25 educational awards, 32 new members. Housatonic achieved distinguished. Park City achieved president, but it's probably going to be Smedley. And I also wanted to say that they achieved the Smedley Award and the Talk Up Toastmasters Award for membership building. For Area 22, we had 14 educational awards and 35 new members. 35 new members is amazing. Area 23, we had 20 educational awards, 11 new members, and Gamma Gabbers earned distinguished status. And I do want to point out that Gamma Gabbers just celebrated their 1-year anniversary and they are distinguished this year, which to me is awesome. For Area 24, we had 28 educational awards, yet only 11 new members. And Airline Trails earned its distinguished status. From a perspective of growth and longevity, from a membership growth, our total recruits or members division-wide was 89 new members. Our total education awards was 87. And then we look at our clubs for longevity. We had 5 clubs that were less than or equal to 10 years, 2 that were 11 to 20, 4 21 to 30, and 2 31 to 40. And then Nutmeg was 76 years. Colonel Ledyard, 66 years, and Valley Shore, 47 years. Amazing, the longevity of the clubs in Division B. From an individual member perspective, I just wanted to shout out that we had 2 members achieve their DTMs. It was 2 out of 7 that were total for the district, or 28.6%. And from a district Triple Crowns, we had 8 out of the 40 Triple Crowns, or 20%. And I really want to call out on the Triple Crowns. Betty Ann Peck had 10 awards this year. That is amazing. And then it lists some of the other members that also had 3 or more awards to achieve their Triple Crowns. Next slide. Or is that from a standpoint of challenges and opportunities, we fell short. I mean, we still may make it, but we fell short for the distinguished status. We focused really well on operational scorecard at the beginning. I tend to be a math-driven person, but the results in a few of the areas cannot compensate. Great results can't always compensate for other areas that lacked educational awards and membership. So what you're going to see is one of the challenges we had was unbalanced growth. We had 67 versus 22 members, depending on the areas. So even though some of them had really strong growth, their educational wasn't there. What we're noticing is that pathways, we're not getting our new members to get started immediately in order to get going and see results. I mean, they say 87% of people who join Toastmasters, if they complete level 1 within the first 3 to 4 months, they're 87% more likely to stay versus not completing level 1. Low educational yield, Area 22, 35 members, but we only had 14 awards. And again, conversely, Area 24 had 11 members, but had 28 awards. So again, thinking about what do we need to do to ensure that we're seeing our new members get started in pathways. In my opinion, we didn't fail to achieve distinguished because of a lack of effort. This dream team was just amazing in all the effort that they put in to help the clubs. We simply ran out of time on the clock before we could redirect towards pockets of need. And I think it's because as we maybe started a little too late, I think Ann said the same thing. And by the time we got there, didn't have enough steam to get us over the edge. But we still have potential, so we'll see what happens. And one of the things that we were thinking about as path forward is that for the incoming team, they should focus on cross-area resources. So shifting priority from just chasing administrative targets to starting early to focus on high growth clubs with struggling ones and try to unlock what some clubs do well, sharing it with clubs that don't. Next slide. And Mohan, if you don't want me to cover all these, just let me know. And again, I just really gave an overview of the status of the clubs. We actually have 4 clubs that have a distinguished status right now, with the potential of 9 clubs being distinguished status. And Jackie, just so you know, Medtronic finished the level 4 and is submitting it today, so they will be distinguished. So we have 1 more club that's going to be distinguished. And Mystic Aquarium told me they're getting that 1 more member, so they should be select distinguished. So a lot of work is still going on in the last few weeks, so we still have a lot of potential to get distinguished, some of our clubs distinguished. Next slide. And you asked about lessons learned. And again, I guess I'm going to look at more so what I learned. I assumed high membership growth naturally would lead to education momentum, but it didn't happen because we had areas that had a ton of new members but didn't get a lot of awards. And yet we had other ones with very few members and got a lot of awards. So one of the things that I think is for next year is to really focus on membership. And as a club starts to get members, before they start losing them all, get in there and have pathways, task force, or some way that the division can help these clubs with higher enrollment so that we convert new members into getting started on pathways sooner than later. And the other thing I think is also important for membership is that we start talking about open houses and marketing resources earlier than waiting to as we look and see, oh, we still need more members, so that it becomes a way of thinking instead of something that, oh, well, now we're suggesting it. That I think we didn't do well at getting the open houses out early enough for the division, for the clubs in the division. And I believe that's my slides.
Okay.
Mohan, there you go. I think you skipped C.
I was gonna say.
All right, short and sweet. So Division C has reached distinguished status thanks to the leadership of the area directors. We have 6 distinguished clubs, 1 select distinguished, 1 president distinguished, and 1 Smedley. So congratulations to those thriving clubs there. We do have 3 more potential clubs that could become distinguished. Essentially, it's within an arm's reach. So there's a very high probability for those clubs to become distinguished. We have completed club visits and reports. I think we missed 1 club report on time, which was submitted thereafter. A couple of lessons learned that we had, essentially, well, the good part out of our division, I think we begin conversations early in stage. And what I mean by that is, how do we approach our clubs in the most effective ways? Initially, I think we begin communicating the verbatim message from the district to the clubs. However, we then started learning and discussing this among us that the clubs have their own culture. Every club is unique. Every club is different. Every club communicates differently. So we pivoted towards the communication of the clubs. And I think that was the tipping point for our success, where we weren't necessarily chasing the actual DCP points. The area directors were effectively communicating the growth, the environment need, the betterment for the Toastmaster members for each of the clubs, and the leadership skill set for the club officers. And I think the area directors were heard because each time we communicated with any other clubs, every club was very open to our discussions and conversations. A couple of things that we also faced at the very beginning of the year, there were a few clubs who had, I'll say, low teens in membership. They were very comfortable with that. The one thing about Toastmasters, at least from my perspective, that I learned, there's a natural attrition that happens. Those individuals come in and go, learn how to public speak, be comfortable speaking publicly, they move on. I've experienced that in my club many times with many members who I now speak with who are no longer the members anymore. And those are the conversations that we had with some of those clubs is you have to continuously not necessarily focus on only member retention, but member acquisition, because we know that there's a revolving open door in Toastmasters, at least in some of them. So I think those are a couple of things that helped Division C with reaching the distinguished status. Other things, one thing that we have done that I think helped us tremendously, we essentially laid out a plan for the entire year. What goals do we have to meet every single which month? We don't have to, we see a plan that we have to have a COT, we had a plan that we have to do the club visits, the trainings, the contest. We didn't necessarily, nothing was caught off guard from that perspective, so it was easier to plan. The one thing that I wish, at least from my perspective, I knew ahead of time or had a better understanding of the actual dashboard. I think I gained a good understanding about a halfway through. And I think if I had a better understanding at the very onset, we would have built that into the plans. But I think having an overall just a plan for the year helped us be successful. Annette, Rashna, Anwar, anything from your perspective that I may have missed in terms of lessons learned?
No, you summed it up pretty well, Pavel. This is Roshna.
I was going to say the same. Thank you, Pavel.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Thank you,
Thank
Pavel.
you.
And you covered everything. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay,
Any questions?
that's all I have. Any questions?
I like it. You summarized everything in one slide. Thank you very much.
Mhm.
Any questions for Pavel? One question we can take. Okay. So congratulations, Pavel, for leading Division C to distinguished. Amazing job. Definitely you raised the bar and it's a benchmark for this year. Congratulations. And
Thank
make
you.
sure that you bring all your leaders and team to Hall of Fame. Okay. Thank you, sir. Doug, would you like to go next? If you have-
Okay, I guess
Yeah.
it's my turn.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What did we achieve in Division D this year? As far as member recruitment, we had a couple of star clubs, Voya, Speakeasy, and to a lesser extent, but still pretty good, Blue Chip, Aetna, and West Hartford. As far as member achievements, Sarita Patel achieved her DTM. For Triple Crowns, my area director, Amina Wieland, completed 5 levels. And members, John Mihalisian, 8 levels. Sarita Patel, 3 levels. Kushi Pasquale, 3 levels. Next slide, please. There's a real mix here of challenges and opportunities. The good news is that Aetna Speaks Up is back to 8 members, is in good standing, and they know that the road isn't over yet. They are interested in a club coach, and they would definitely benefit from a club coach with corporate club experience. Voya is a table topics level 2 session away from one member achieving and the club achieving distinguished status. West Hartford has crossed a dubious line this year. They will be in a rebuilding phase for a couple of years after losing their longtime president, Jane Fillion. Talk It Up Toastmasters, last I looked, was 2 members away from being distinguished and 4 or 5 from presidents distinguished, if such a thing could happen. I have 4 clubs in Division D that are either 1 member or 1 DCP point short of distinguished. I believe areas 42 and 43 will both come back distinguished if things turn well in our favor. There are, and you're moving me on?
Yeah. So if you don't have to read every line, sir, just to
I
give
see.
us
All
a
right. You're moving me
yeah.
on. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Mohan,
did I
if you were
wish-
speaking, we didn't hear the last piece.
Oh, no, he was just moving
Yeah.
me on.
Yeah, I meant you don't have to read every line, sir, just to give us the summary.
Right. What did I wish I knew before this year started? Well, it's true that what this slide says. I wish I knew how many things would be going on at the same time and how dedicated I would have to be to organizing my schedule and my personal time. I also wish I would have known that I was only going to have 2 very good, very active, very enthusiastic area directors for 4 areas. One of those things you have to deal with. That's my report. I'll take if questions, okay?
Yeah. Thank you, Doug. Any questions? So I have one request to make, Doug. Please work with area directors and see. I have not seen even a single club distinguished so far.
No,
but
that
we
is
have
true.
a lot of potential. Yeah. Please work with them and let us know what help you need from Trio.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
So in terms of achievements, I was really excited. Bethlehem just got another DCP point and they became president distinguished. New York State Forum Toastmasters, we recruited 1 new member. We are actually now only one member away from Smedley distinguished. North Country, they also recruited another new member, 2 more to be distinguished. So a lot of the clubs have amped it up and tried to, they heard you, Mohan, and they're trying to get more members. They're still a couple short, so we're just trying to pursue those last few members. Go to the next one. I don't have to read it all. In terms of our challenges, there's quite a few clubs that are under 12. Stratton VA, even though their numbers went way down, they actually have 7 DCP points. They had a restructuring in terms of the way that they organize their time, their work schedules. And it's really, I find that the hardest part is the corporate clubs in terms of getting them in line for pathway project completion, as well as just trying to have them commit to their meeting times. We do have 3 clubs that are closing, and it's very sad to say that Innovative Presenters, which was an advanced club, they are closing. Snug just charted last year, and I think they were set up and they didn't quite understand what was going to be expected of them, and their leadership changed. So they will be closing. And GE Schenectady, we knew, was suspended and they're closing. But we do have some opportunities for some other clubs to become distinguished, and we're hoping that they will do so. Next slide. Lessons learned. I wish I knew some more of the intricate speech contest rules. I had a very challenging area speech contest season, and I learned a lot, which is great. And I think my area directors learned a lot, but there were a lot of challenges, and we had a dual contest, which did not go very well. I'd also like a little bit more clarification on member requirements for DCP eligibility. I wish I knew that going into this. I was always of the mindset you had to have at least 20 members, and that actually is not the case. So my lovely pink Plinko board from Jan Jam was wrong. And I think some of the area directors really needed some more support. And they were not, even though I offered it, they weren't willing to take me up on it. And I think they really could have used that. We had a couple areas that I think were not as active in terms of their area director being involved. Some of our areas did absolutely fantastic in terms of the director really engaging with their clubs and being available and supporting their clubs. And then I had an area or two that struggled a little bit more. I wish I had planned the area directors get together earlier on in the term. I think it would have been great if we got to know each other. And I'd also like to review the area director reports before some of them were submitted. I had some reports that were submitted saying everything far exceeds, and there were for clubs that were really struggling. And I think people, the area directors that submitted them, didn't really understand. They can be honest. You should be honest in those area director reports. And the last thing I wish I knew was how much time the realignment would have taken. That was a significant chunk of time that the division directors were kind of thrown into. And I don't think any of us anticipated that or anticipated how challenging that was going to be. And then lastly, where to find all those division education awards. I didn't put any on my slides because I could not find them anywhere in my district, my division, anything reports that I could find, I could not find them. So offline, I will find out where they are, and I'll be prepared for next year. That's it.
Oh, thank you, Kathy. Any questions for Kathy? So quiet. If there are no questions, yeah, Kathy, there are education reports that we can, yeah, you can read the text.
I'll look for them again.
Okay. So with this, our next reports should be from senior staff. Unfortunately, Norm could not make it. What we'll do is we will go through remaining senior staff reports. If based on the time, I will flash his updates and then we can have a few minutes. With this, can I invite Amy to share her report? Finance report, I'm going there.
Yep.
Give me a few seconds.
I have it up. Do you want me to share it?
I don't see here. That's why.
I can share it if you want. I have it up.
Yeah. Why don't you go ahead? I don't see here.
Okay. Okay, so finances look pretty good. I reconciled our accounts through the end of April. I haven't been able to do May yet because there's just one large expense from the conference that has yet to clear in Concur. So haven't been able to clear that from the district reserve yet. Hopefully that will clear soon. No, there's no outstanding expenses in Concur that need to be improved. Our actual expenses continue to be well below budget, but again, I think once the conference expenses are
clear, we'll be a little closer to budget. And I've also sent all of our files through March to our audit team, so hopefully they can get a head start on our year-end audit, because I know that's going to need to be done earlier this year because of the transition. This is our profit and loss report through the end of April, because as I said, it hasn't been able to reconcile at the end of May yet. So you can see here that, again, we're well, as of from last July through the end of April, our actual net income is well above our budgeted net income. But I'm sure, again, like I said, after May expenses come through, those will get a little closer together. Other than that, I think there's some final reporting that needs to be done related to the transition over the next month or so. So I'll be working with the senior team on that. And I think that's all I have to report.
Thank
Any
you, Amy.
questions?
Yeah. Thank you, Amy. Amy and I communicate on regular basis, so I don't have any questions, but we can allow 1 or 2 questions. No questions? Wow. Okay, let me share. Alpana, are you ready?
I am ready, sir.
That's nice. This is your slide.
Yeah. Okay. So my updates will be really quick. In terms of achievements, the readership has varied between 20 to 40%. So I would say all in all, it's been steady at an average of about 30%, which has been also the case in the past couple of years. By the end of the year, we would have published a total of 36 newsletters, including 23 regular editions and 13 special editions. The numbers are important because that is evidence of how much effort we put in to provide all of the members of District 53 information on a broad variety of topics through the regular newsletters and in a focused manner through the special bulletins. I hope we have served that purpose. If I go to the challenges, I would sound like a broken record because it's the same challenge throughout the year. So I would prefer to end my report on a positive note with the newsletters and what we've tried to achieve through that. If you have any feedback, feel free to provide that, because if there's constructive feedback, we can take it as a lessons learned for the next team. And if there's positive feedback, of course, everybody's happy to hear that. Back to you, Mohan.
Yeah, thank you, Alpana, for your contributions, for your dedication. I know it takes hours together whenever you pick up a information and then make it. So we can take 1 question. Come on, we can do it.
Alpana, this is Sharon. I just want to say I loved your special reports and how you focused on things that were unique, that we made a big deal of some of the great things that happened. I just wanted to say I loved how you did that. It really was a great way to recognize the accomplishments of the district. So thank you for that.
It's the entire team, Sharon. Thank you for the positive feedback, but it's the entire team, not just me. So yeah, credit goes to everybody.
Yeah, simple, Alpana. If Sharon appreciates means you've really done a good job. Because she's a tough evaluator. I know her very well. So good job. Thank you. Next, Liz, would you like to go?
Absolutely, Mohan. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. For my report tonight, I have a few points I want to cover. Very first, with regards to our distinguished goals as a district, currently we're sitting at 92 paid clubs and we need to reach 98 clubs to be distinguished. So we haven't quite met that goal. And for payments, as of when I put this report together, we were at 3,300 payments even, and we need to get up to 3,596 membership payments to be distinguished. So we still need well over 290 new membership payments between now and June 30th to be distinguished, which a lot of districts are struggling with this. For the club growth updates, I'm happy to say that we have chartered 2 clubs this year, although one of them will be closing. We have 2 prospective clubs that have submitted their ATOs, Writers Forum Toastmasters and Pages and Stages Advanced Toastmasters, that are actively working to charter. We also have 2 leads that are pending charter paperwork, Infosys and Asa Abloy, both corporate clubs. We also have over 8 leads right now that we're still in the development process on. And I want to shout out Anne, Sharon, and Kate, who were my committee chairs this year, for their hard work and due diligence on all things club growth. Something I wish I did more with this year, and is something I am passing along to my club growth successor, is marketing. I didn't have a dedicated marketing chair, so it was something that I didn't spend a lot of time on. Something that we've tried recently is some targeted Facebook marketing to help clubs bring in guests. And we're going to try to do a push with this over the last 2 weeks to see if we can have any ROI, return on investment, with money we spend on targeted marketing. And it's something that we should do more of next year. And we also assigned 12 club coaches this year, and I think we'll have 5 or 6 of them. Sharon, back me up if I got that wrong, who will be successful in getting their club coach credit towards their TTM, which is a huge accomplishment. We also recently published a special bulletin with motivational videos from International President Aletta Rocha and International President-elect Stefano McGee that was sent out to all members. That concludes my report for this evening. Does anyone have questions for me?
Oh.
Yep, go ahead, Sharon.
I just have a question on the Facebook marketing. Is that focused on a club, or is that focused on the benefits of Toastmasters from a district perspective, helping point people towards clubs?
Yeah, so what we've tried very recently is specific targeting for clubs, marketing their meetings, but definitely there's an opportunity for next year to do external marketing on what the value of Toastmasters is for the general public.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from anyone on club growth updates?
Why?
I'm not
People are
seeing
so
any,
quiet today.
Mohan.
Wow, I'm very surprised.
I'll just briefly say that it's been a true honor to serve the district as the club growth director, and I look forward to serving as your program quality director next year. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Let me go. Jackie, did you share a lot of slides?
I did share a lot of slides, but there's the executive summary piece that really is all that we need. Yep, that's it. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. And I do have one bullet that I forgot to include. So that part I will simply read. The conference, we know that the conference was successful, and we finally have the financial report has been generated, all due thanks to David Friedman. Overall, with the conference, some folks may not realize we aim for it effectively to be net zero. We try to really have no gain, no loss. We wound up having a very slight gain of $262, which from everything that I've been told, it's under 500. That's perfectly acceptable. So that's wonderful news. And we had a total of 114 registrations, which is a 12% increase over last year. So once again, congratulations to the entire conference team, and of course to all the members who participated. The lessons learned will be taking place on Tuesday, June 23rd from 8 until 9:30 p.m. And Liz and I are looking forward to leading that. On June 27th are going to be 2 in-person events, both at Mount Holyoke College, the Hall of Fame, which is a look back at the achievements from clubs and members from this past Toastmasters year, and then the kickoff for round 1 club officer training, which is a look forward. That's going to be in the afternoon. The challenge right now is registrations for both are very low. As of yesterday, we had a total of 20 registrations for each event. And because of this, Liz and I are waiting until, this says the 20th, it's actually going to be Monday the 22nd. That's a typo, I'm sorry. We're going to basically decide go or no go for a live event, because if we don't have a minimum threshold of people showing up for it, it will not be worth the effort for folks to drive hours to get there and put on the events. So if we need to, we will then pivot to have both events be online. That decision will be, again, made this upcoming Monday. Before I get to the path to distinguish, the piece that I forgot to include is an overview of the member education accomplishments for this Toastmasters year. Some some division directors have already mentioned for their particular divisions. As of today, which really means as of yesterday, we have 385 level completions. We have 47 path completions. We have one member who completed the Pathways Mentor Program. We have 44 Triple Crowns. And we have 7 DTMs, really 8, because we are also including the DTM that was awarded last June, which was after the Hall of Fame last year. Okay, now in terms of the path to distinguished, the great news, as you can see there, is we have our first ever Smelly Distinguished Club. Congratulations to Talking Tomorrow Together Toastmasters for this huge milestone. We also have 2 distinguished areas, B21 and C31. Congratulations to them, and congratulations to our Distinguished Division C. C is for cookie, that's good enough for me. In terms of where we are on our path to distinguished, you may recall that our magic number is 44. We need 44 clubs or better to be distinguished or better for us to hit that particular metric. At this time, we have 22. That, again, that's as of today. It sounds like starting tomorrow, that number is going to go up, which is great. We are on track for at least 11 more to confidently become distinguished. Now, if you're like me and math is not your forte, I double checked this. 33 is still not 44. That doesn't mean that it's impossible. It just means that there are some additional challenges there, including membership, as a few folks have mentioned, that it's still possible for us to hit that mark. We are working on it, and I want to give kudos to all of the district leaders on this call and to your teams. I know that you've been working incredibly hard, and thank you so much for your efforts. The last thing that I want to mention, and this has to do with lessons learned and really more of a message for the incoming team for next year. A number of folks have mentioned the huge challenge with membership. First, we are not alone in District 53. If you take a look at the dashboard at the other districts around the world, there, as of now, are no distinguished districts in North America. The only districts that are showing distinguished or better are currently in Africa and Asia. We are hurting all around, so it's not unique to us. Now, that said, there are still some lessons that we can learn in terms of membership retention, because that's really where the issue is. In terms of expected membership turnover, Pavel was talking about that there's an expected rate of turnover that we expect. Toastmasters expects 30 to 40% of yearly membership is going to turn over in a club, and that's where that magic number 8 comes from, where you get 4 new members and 4 more new members, and yay, that way you get your DCP point. What it comes down to right now is that for D53, out of 42 distinguished plus clubs last year, 23 of them have had high membership turnover rates this year. That's 55%. And a takeaway is sprinting to distinguished can lead to burnout. And so if we can encourage clubs to change the mindset from a sprint to a marathon, in it for the long haul, and make it sustainable, I think that that's going to go a long way for clubs in retaining members. And the other data-driven insight is, out of 91 clubs, not including Innovative Presenters, which we know is going to close, out of 91 clubs, 43 have high membership turnover rates this year. That's 47% of D53 current clubs. And the takeaway here is that clubs with retention challenges, they're not going to be sustainable in the long run. And therefore, if we can encourage our clubs to, yes, have ongoing member feedback and engagement, but also please conduct exit interviews, if you will, with those members who's choosing not to renew. If they can find out why their members are deciding not to renew, that can help them then with a moments of truth and figure out how to improve their member experience all around. That is it for me. Does anyone have any questions?
I just
Thank
want to
you,
say I
Jackie.
thought it was a really important point that you hit upon, Jackie, and conducting those exit interviews. We did it with a few members and it was very worthwhile.
Thanks, Kathy. And on the slide deck that was compiled, I have the breakdown. If you want to look club by club, you certainly can at your leisure. And hello to my cat. And it's not a pass fail. It's not a slap on the wrist. It's just data. And hopefully from that, we'll be able to be in a stronger position next year and help our clubs change their mindsets. And with that, I just want to say thank you so much. This has been an incredible year serving as your program quality director. I'm grateful for the experience and to everyone on the entire district team and all of our members. Thank you so much. Mohan, over to you.
So thank you, Jackie. I really appreciate everyone's support. I hope we are on time. Liz, can you check? How are we doing on time?
Yeah, it's 7:51. I think we're actually running a little early, right? Because I believe Richard was supposed to start at 8.
We still have DSM report.
District
and
director.
Oh,
report.
yeah, right. We still have a little bit of time. Yeah.
Yeah, I can
My
speak for
apologies.
9 minutes or I can speak for 4 minutes. Okay, first of all, I want to congratulate all the division directors for next year. Thank you very much. I want to thank all area directors and division directors. This is not my exit speech, okay? Because as per Jackie, I'm going to speak for at least 5 minutes during Hall of Fame. So I will keep some of the notes for that meeting. We started this year with 21 area. Unfortunately, out of 21 areas, I could assign only 20 area directors. Then one area director got not transferred, he got a job in New York. Then we had to deal with only 19. Then because of lot of other reasons, 2 more area directors are not there. So we are running with 17 area directors. Last year, we were select distinguished. It was not easy. Jackie is here. Betian Peck. I don't know how she did it. I worked very hard, but we were select distinguished. Believe me, fortunately, we did this last year, Jackie. Otherwise, this year would have been really challenging. I don't know what District 31 is going through. Coming back to numbers, 22, Jackie just mentioned, I don't want to repeat anything, but we can still do it, Jackie. Last year, don't underestimate your capabilities, okay? We all know you better than you know yourself. So we will be distinguished, we will be reaching the distinguished club. One more area I'm still positive with Sharon's support as a leads list. 98 clubs still possible. Why I will tell you, Raj just texted me on Infosys. He's going to complete his ATO by tomorrow evening. So they are planning to charter this month unless until we push them to July. So I don't want to do that. So with this, I'm going to request to Sharon Mercado to give us at least few leads so that Liz can go on stage on behalf of District 53. We really want you to go on stage. So both of you, Jackie and Liz, I still believe in those 2 areas. Membership definitely challenging. I am also an engineer and a very conservative person. As of now, it looks ambitious. Let us do our best. Let us give a strong baseline to next year leaders. We have a lot of leaders from 2026 and 2027 District 53 leadership. I am seeing some of them coming from District 65 also. Congratulations to all the elect leaders for 2026 and 2027. But I would like to thank all area directors and division directors this year. You worked very hard. What we have achieved this year, I'm going to list during Hall of Fame. You may be thinking at the dashboard and numbers don't look that good, but what did we achieve? I have recorded a lot of things and I have notes, and we are going to celebrate on 27th June. With this, I request all of you to go back to your clubs, your divisions, and ask all the officers members to register for Hall of Fame. I am doing marketing on behalf of Jackie and Liz. We want to make it very successful because this year, if you noticed, we are bringing in-person meetings back before COVID stage. So we are successful to the major extent. Of course, next year team will be happy to bring more in-person meetings. But we tried our level best to recognize the leaders this year, and we will see more on 27th June. Before I end, I want to thank again all area directors, my senior staff, division directors, leaders, club officers for everything that you are investing in. By the way, I am also doing my level best. I can't beat Betty and Peck, but I just completed my seventh pathway today. So, yeah, seventh, and I'm working on my third DTM. One of my clubs is already Smedley distinguished. I'm working with two other clubs to lead them to distinguished. So believe me, I'm working very hard. I don't know uh, what is my wife going through. So many hours away from my family. With this, it is 7:56. Can I take one or two questions? You can ask me anything. If I don't know, there are a lot of people who know the answers. No questions, Liz?
Yeah, the question from Pavel is, when do you sleep, Mohan?
Yeah, that is a really good question, sir. I used to sleep 8 hours. Now I'm able to sleep 4 to 6 based on the meetings. That much I can tell you. Where are norm slides? Do you, anyone knows? No norm slides. I'm just trying to see. This is norm slides. Who has a better control on this? So I want to share something he did this year. A lot of you may not be aware. I can happily share. This year he delegated some of his tasks to other people. David Friedman, you might have seen him, and Mr. Kessler. He also picked up a lot of items. I hope, Jackie, you appreciate your better half. For seriously, he has done a lot of work. Please appreciate. Husbands usually don't get any appreciation. At least you do. In addition to that, he went through personal situation. Still, he did amazing job. He also played key role as a transition committee member, and he is the heavy lifter, I call it. He does 70 to 80% of the work that is done on behalf of District 53, including uploading of leaders into the portal, club officer training, our district calendar, and registrations, you name it. Without him, believe me, I would have not imagined even my job. I don't know, Pavel, you asked me that question, but I take it positively. But we all should be asking Norm how many hours really he sleeps. It is 7:58. Any questions on Norm or any questions on senior staff or to senior staff before I introduce next speaker? Do you see Richard here? Yes, okay. Hello, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Good.
I'm just, it's 7:59. We are doing everything on time. So any 30 seconds question anyone would like to ask? Wow, very quiet.
Who is okay? Sharon's.
Sharon, I know.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Sharon.
Well,
No. I'll be forwarding my area director reports to Sharon for storing for the incoming area director team.
Thank you.
So with this, it is 8 o'clock. We are on time. Our next speaker, only speaker today, and he does not need any introduction. He is a past international president. Of course, he was our district director also. He is going to motivate us, inspire us with his amazing speech and experience. It is not too late until it is too late. It is not too late until it is too late. Richard Peck.
Thank you. Thank you, District Director Padamati. I know when the District Director sleeps. It's at work. But other than that, he's busy. This was an interesting conversation to come in on, listening to Jackie speak about the district success numbers. And yes, they do look low. I'll give you that. But if you look at last year, at the same date last year, there were only 2 districts in North America that were distinguished. So if you compare apples to apples, it's not a huge difference between then and now. But we do have challenges for sure, and we need to think about how to handle them. It's funny to hear Mohan and Jackie and Liz say, we need you to come in and be the cheerleader for the district. And then everything I heard coming into this was all the challenges that we're facing. Kind of hard to put the cheerleader side of it on after that. But I think we can do that. I think you all have the ability to do that. The statement, it's not too late until it's too late, sounds obvious, doesn't it? Sounds self-explanatory. But it's not. And it's not because of the unknown. And the unknown is until it's too late. People see that and define it in different ways. But before I get to my definition of it, I'd like to ask a couple questions. And I need the answers to be honest. Not that I'm thinking that you wouldn't be honest. I'm not phrasing it that way. But these are questions that require some true introspection. Now, I could ask you to raise your hands, which could skew the results, because you're going to be answering questions that put you or may put you in the spotlight in front of your peers. So I'd like to do it in kind of an anonymous way. If everyone can go to the chat window and open up chat and find my name in the chat window, so you're sending me a direct message. This way, it's not going to be something that everyone can see, and I can get the results. So I'm going to start off with a 2-part question, and then I'm going to follow it up with a 3rd one. And this is going to give me an idea of where we are in the district right now. Okay? So everyone be honest. I'm not sharing your results. Just send them directly to me. Okay? The first question. Do you feel that you are empowered to do the things that need to be done, to make the decisions on your own, to do your job? Send me a yes or send me a no, as honestly as you can. Okay. Okay. So I don't know how many people are on the call today. I've gotten a number of responses. Okay. And we're getting a mixed bag. And that tells me a little bit about which way the leadership are viewing their ability to do their job. Okay. Let me ask you a follow-up question. Do you feel like you're micromanaged and have to get approval on those things, or want to make sure that they're agreed to? Okay, here's an interesting dynamic. A majority of the people don't feel like they're micromanaged, but nearly 50% of them don't feel like they're empowered. Not being empowered and not being micromanaged, there's a disconnect in philosophy there. Because if you're not being micromanaged, you should feel that you're empowered. So something hasn't been given to you. There's some skill set that hasn't been transferred to you, or some direction that hasn't been given to you at this time. Not sure, time will tell. It's an interesting response. It is June 16th. We have 15 days to go in the year, Toastmasters year. Let's back it up by, say, a couple, because the end of the year is a deadline. You're dead on the line if you don't achieve your goals. You're all facing challenges. I've looked at the dashboard. I know where everybody is. Have you given up? Is it just too hard now that you don't think you can reach the results? Good. Getting some honest responses here. There's a mixed bag of people who say, yeah, it's just too tough right now, and I can't do it. I've given up. And some saying, nah, I haven't given up yet. Well, it's hard to tow the district in the right direction when people are going in different directions. That's when the challenge arises. So to say that I have 30% that have said, you know what, it's just too challenging right now, I have to give up. Maybe it's personal lives, while the other group is saying, yeah, we're going to go in this direction. It does make it a little bit of a challenge. Absolutely does. There's no doubt about it. And that's why I say the term until it's too late is the indeterminate. For those who have decided I've had enough, I can't do anymore, it's already too late, or could be already too late. For those who are still pushing forward, the end of the Toastmasters year is when it's too late, one day past. But we don't want to get to that point. We don't want to get there. We want to be feeling comfortable in the fact that we're doing everything we can ahead of that, right? How many of you want to get running at the last minute, on the very last day, on the very last club meeting, hoping that someone turns in an educational award for that club to be distinguished? Who wants to do that? Nobody. I know there's an area director out there doing an area director visit tonight because they didn't make their goal of getting it done by June or getting it done by May. And they want to get that 100% on the board. Why are we waiting till the last minute of that club's meetings to do that? This is where we often get ourselves into, and this is where we start to challenge our own beliefs and our own abilities. And I want to tell you that each and every one of you have the ability still to achieve what goals you have set before yourself. See, I'm not setting goals for you. Don't care. You have your own goals. Dashboard, if you drive by the dashboard, think about driving by something else, right? Dashboard doesn't tell you membership achievement. It tells you what they've gained by a box. Doesn't tell you how they've grown inside, doesn't how they've changed personally, doesn't show how you as a leader has changed. Okay? So if you start thinking about how to focus it differently, looking at the members, and I love what Jackie said, clubs need to change their mindsets. Actually, leaders need to change their mindsets. Because we can tell our members the club needs this or the district needs that. They don't care, folks. I'm going to be honest with you. They really don't care. They care about what they get, what they're learning, how they're growing. New members don't know about the DCP. Seasoned members look at it with different eyes. We need to change the message that we're giving them into how they're growing, how they're changing, how they're making an impact. And all you're doing is being the person who facilitates that goal, helping them get there. As leaders, you lead from three positions. You lead by standing in front of your team before them, is the way I phrase it. You stand before your team, offer them guidance, get the roadblocks out of the way, be the person who takes the slings and arrows when they come your way, right? You're the person who stands behind your team, your members, supporting them, pushing them forward, giving that gentle nudge. When they fall back, you move them forward, and you stand beside them so that you're willing to do the same things. How many of you, and you can show your hands if you want, are pushing clubs and members to reach educational awards this year and aren't doing the same thing to yourself? Couple aren't. Right? We're pushing other people and we're not leading by example. How does that work? How does that work? We need to be setting the example for why members and clubs do what they do. Now, in order to get there, you can't do this by yourself. And two, you can't do it by shotgun approaching. Everyone know what I mean by shotgun approach? You look at your area directors, you're looking at your area portion of the area report on the dashboard. District directors or division directors, you're looking at your report. These are things, everybody's falling behind here. I got to hit everybody. Wrong. That approach will kill you. It will kill you because you're not focused. You need to have a laser focus on it. So look at the dashboard. You've got an area that maybe needs an educational award, maybe, and they have the membership numbers. Who should you be going after? That club. If you have a club that needs education awards and doesn't have membership numbers, where are you going to focus? You can't get both in 14 days. You're not. So laser point your focus on where you want to go. Everyone knows where to look at the dashboard and find the numbers for what clubs are doing, right? Yeah. I'm not seeing a lot of heads nod to that, which causes me great concern that we have tools out there and maybe we're just not utilizing them the right way. So maybe with next year's district leader training, one of the things that should be brought forward is, hey, this is how you look at the dashboard. This is division directors. Here's your to-do list. Area directors, here's your to-do list. The senior team, here's your to-do list. So that you're running into it ahead of time. I think that as individuals, we also tend to try to do things by ourselves. Why? Why are we trying to do things by ourselves? We have a group of resources here that we can all leverage each other's skill sets on, all leverage each other's knowledge. There are members in our district and in our future district who have been around for a long time. We tend not to jump into your swimming pool unless you invite us into it, because we want to give you the opportunity to lead. And then the excuse I hear is, well, we're all so busy. Well, how do you know we're busy? Unless you ask us if we're busy. In 14 days, we will reach the end of the Toastmasters year. In 14 days, you can achieve great things. There are historical events that have occurred in less than 14 days. All we're trying to do is help our clubs and members grow. Don't worry about, we need to be distinguished. We need Mohan and Jackie and Liz on the stage. Don't worry about that. Don't drive for that. Drive for your members. See, there's really no such thing as a distinguished district director, Smedley distinguished director, select distinguished director. There's no such thing. They're the district director of a Smedley Distinguished District, Select Distinguished District, because it's the members that got that title, not the individual at the top. The individual at the top just happened to be in that seat. So I would encourage you over the next 14 days. Actually, I'm going to encourage you over the next 2 days to really look at the dashboard. Look at your area within the dashboard, your division within the dashboard. Focus on those things that you can change, but do it with a smart approach. You have a club that's an advanced club, meets once a month, needs one education program, but has education goal, but has the membership. They've already met this month. They're not meeting again. The only way you can encourage that club to change is have that member speak outside the club and get credit for it. But if you're focusing on that club trying to do it, not going to do it. It's already, the club's already met and they're not meeting again until next month. So take a hard, fast look at those numbers. Take a hard, fast look at that data and make sure that you're focusing in the right areas. Because you don't want to be spending your energy focusing on the things that just won't happen. They just won't. And I know Mohan has been looking at that. Mohan was at my desk in my office. And I'm generally not in my office. So when Mohan shows up, I know he wants to talk about something. And he was, we sat down and we were talking about those numbers. And I think Mohan initially had this big approach in mind, but then he started to filter down to say, these things are not going to happen. Can't put our time there. Need to put our time into the areas that we can make sure something is going to happen. Set yourself up with a strategy to do it and a timeline. Don't wait until June 30th. June 30th is not a goal. June 30th is a deadline. If you don't make it, you're dead on the line. There's nothing you're going to do after that. And there's nothing that Jackie and Liz can do to help at that point. I will share this with Liz because her role is very similar now to what mine was. When I was club growth director at the time, it was the last day of the year, June 30th. We needed one club to be distinguished. Our practice was that clubs always sent the paperwork to the CGD to be inspected for accuracy. This club submitted its paperwork directly to World Headquarters. I had no visibility into it. Did not know if they made it, did not know if they dotted all the I's, crossed all the T's. And we know the dashboard at the end of the year does not change right away. I was sweating for several weeks waiting to see if that club actually occurred. Fortunately, it did, but man, why would we put people in that stressful a mode? Just not right. Think about your strategies, put some tactics behind it, set some goals, set some milestones. The numbers in my background, can anyone tell me what the numbers in my background are? You can stop if you like so they can see them easier.
158 clubs, 9,840 members.
Nope, but that's a good guess. Oh, I'm backwards. That's 158 hours. That's 9,840 minutes that exists between now and June 30th. That is the time excluding the time we sleep and the time we're at work. There's a lot of time in that bucket. You just have to figure out how to use it effectively. And you can't burn yourself out with it. We heard that statement about burnout. I've heard it before. I've seen it happen to people. Do not run so hard that you get burnt out or that you start thinking Toastmasters isn't for you. Because when people get burnt out, the first thing they do, they step back and then they step away. So let's not get there. I have faith that you can do this. I really do. If I didn't think you could do it, I wouldn't be here. I had to leave my club meeting to be here for this. So, and we're struggling. My club is struggling. I'll be honest with you. We're struggling. But I know we can make a difference. I know you can make a difference. You were all in these positions for that reason. And if I can be of assistance to any one of you, please let me know. Don't go on this alone. You take your journey by yourself, but you take your leadership journey with others. I can continue talking to you and just unload as much information as I can, but that's not going to help you. What's going to help is some interaction between us and talking things through and getting some ideas out there and letting other people hear what's on your mind. So I know I was given a half-hour slot, which means I have about 10 minutes for Q&A. And I'd like to open it up to anybody who has some questions that I can possibly help you with. If you want to do your virtual hand to be recognized, that's fine. There's only 2 screens I can scroll across, but virtual hands usually work better for me. And I would find it hard to believe that after 1 hour and nearly 20 minutes of this meeting, somebody doesn't have a question about something. Because if there's no questions, this district should have been Smedley about 6 months ago. What'd you do to the district leaders, you 3? You scare them off?
We have a hand up now, Richard.
Oh, good. Oh, good. I was thinking I was going to have to stare at the screen for 10 minutes. Phil, what's going on? How you been?
Hi, thank you, Richard. Very inspiring argument that you presented to us all. I have one question on my mind is, I have one club in my area, and by the way, all of the clubs in my area are moving into District 83. However, having served as an AD all year and really gotten to know all my clubs and members, I think fairly well, and I really want to do all I can to help them. And we have one club, it's a corporate club that is on the verge of collapsing, and they have 3 members who are kind of keeping the ship afloat at the moment. And their dilemma is getting someone within the corporation, which has a new corporate owner, so to speak, to be a spokesperson and a champion for them to keep the club going. And they didn't.
What's the name of the company, Phil?
Pardon me?
What's the name of the company?
It's Cardis Magnus. Okay. And I met with them today. They were supposed to have a meeting, but no one showed up other than 3 officers.
Okay.
And actually, Anne made a suggestion, and I think it's a good one. Maybe we can offer to come and speak to their management if they're trying to get a champion, and maybe they don't have the resources to convey to their new management the power and benefit of Toastmasters, and maybe they need an experienced Toastmaster to come in and sell Toastmasters to the corporation. So I guess my question is,
absolutely.
How can I best encourage and support, or better yet, take some action to see that this club doesn't go under?
Yeah. So, and I think that's a great question. I don't think that's a different story. How do we keep the club from going? I think, though, that you definitely have to find a way to utilize some outside resources to help you with this, to help you gain that ground. So the first thing I would do is look to see if Cardis Magnus is a corporate environment, do they have other corporate locations? If they do, see if any of those other corporate locations have Toastmasters clubs that you can utilize. Am I frozen? Can you still hear me?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
we can
wasn't
still
sure.
hear you, Richard.
Okay,
Yes.
good. So see if Curtis Magnus has other locations where they might have a Toastmasters club. Then you can try to utilize some of their human resources or some of their clubs' knowledge to see if you can promote in yours. The other thing is, absolutely, you as leaders want to meet with their HR people, their senior staff if you can. That's what Mohan's job is. That's what Jackie and Liz's job is, to be able to go in there as senior leaders within the district to talk to them and present the benefits of Toastmasters. See, with 3 members in the club, they may be trying to sell it from the wrong perspective without selling the value. Right? They're selling it for survival, not necessarily selling it for what it has to offer. So I think if you look at some of your other resources, you can do that. You could also call World Headquarters and talk to district services or club services and ask them if they know of any other Curtis Magnus clubs that are out there, and they can give you that information as well.
Thank you.
Those are some approaches I would take for sure.
Thank you very much.
Yep. Annette, I see your hand is up.
Yes, thank you. Along the same lines of dealing with corporate clubs which have low officer involvement and members who don't necessarily always have the time during the workday to devote energy to keeping the club going. What are some other strategies to assist the clubs, I guess, to maybe recognize the need for open houses or some sort of membership building, engagement promoting? It's can be difficult at times to motivate, I guess, looking for strategies for that.
Yeah. So my question would be first, have we asked them why they don't do that? Because there might be a reason why they're not that we don't understand. So we should ask that question first. Is there a reason why you're not engaging? Is there a reason, maybe they can't use their internal communication system for promoting? I don't know. So we need to ask a couple questions there to understand why they're not. There have been some successful corporate clubs that have become open clubs. So is it just not tied to the employees of the corporation, but has become almost a hybrid community club. And that has worked well for a number of clubs also. So I think there's a number of questions that need to be asked first, and then the plan can be made to address it. But I think you're right on the right approach. Is you need to find a way to develop your club. You can't develop it in a silo, but we need to know what we can do to help you to get beyond that siloed approach. Healthcare companies, you're never going to get that outside people in because of HIPAA unless they meet somewhere else. You go to like the sub base, that's going to be a challenge. But there are ways to work within them, but you have to talk to the members for sure. And as far as involvement, yeah, absolutely. It seems to be getting harder and harder to get officers to go to club officer training. It seems to be getting harder and harder to get district leaders to go to district leader training sometimes. But I'm hearing great things about the new club officer training, so hopefully that will help into the next year. Yeah.
Thank you.
But regardless of how we approach it, we have to change the script in the way we present it. It can't be, we need you, the district needs you, the area, the division, the club needs you. We can't promote that way. Nobody joined their club because of a district, because of an area, because of a division. They joined their club to gain themselves skills and to grow themselves. And if we keep serving it as we need, we're going to lose. Mr. District Director, I see we are at the bottom of the hour, which was the allotted time for my session.
You have 15 more minutes, sir, if there are any questions.
I have 15 more minutes. You didn't put that on my schedule when we talked. See, now he's delegated 15 more minutes. Of course, I could always volley the question back to him when it comes over my way and see how he answers it too, right? Right, Jackie? I can see you nodding your head.
So I have one question, Richard. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we keep losing the members.
Yeah.
This year we lost more members than we lost last year.
Uh-huh.
What is your point of view on losing the members? Is it pathways adaptation challenge or not engaging the members? What do you think?
You're asking me to answer a question without any data to back it up. Right?
Yeah,
You're asking a very broad question there.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Close to six. I have the number. Close to 600 people did not renew.
okay, so again, you're giving me a number without the data set to go with it, right? And I think you heard that earlier in what did the exit interviews tell you? Okay, so you take that 600 members, and here's what I want you to do with it. I want you to go and look at the years of service of those 600 members. Okay. And then see whether it's seasoned members that are leaving or whether it's new members that aren't staying. If it's seasoned members that are leaving, there's a couple reasons. One, it could be pathways. Not going to guarantee that 100%, nor would I stake my career on that. Two, it could be because it's just time. They've had their time and they want to move on to something else. There's not a lot of lifers in Toastmasters anymore. They're really not. Those of us who have 20 plus years in are few and far between. However, if you see that it's a group of members that have gotten less than 1 year in the program, 1.5 years in the program, I'm going to tell you it's not pathways because they haven't been in it long enough to know that they don't like pathways. There's something else there that led them to it. And I'm also going to remind you to look at what type of clubs they came from. Corporate clubs are your easiest clubs to build and your easiest club to lose. And when you lose a corporate club, you lose twice. You lose a club and you lose a member base. You can lose 20 members with a company shutting down like that. So that's why I say, Mohan, I really can't give you a 100% correct answer as to why, but I can tell you that if you take some time to evolve that data a little bit more, you might be able to pinpoint what the cause is.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
Yep.
Come on.
Hello, Colette. Nice to see you.
You should have questions. Come on. Yeah. Colette raised the hand.
No, she was waving. I recognized her because I hadn't seen her in a while.
My area had all corporate clubs. I had no experience in it, so I felt completely adrift.
Yeah.
This is not what I teach. It's not what I've done. But I agree with there was a Saturday training with the fellow who led the Saturday training. If the executives in the company aren't on board, you're up a creek without a paddle.
Mm-hmm.
He's completely correct about that. Mm-hmm. But I have no way as the area director to affect that as someone who doesn't work at any of the companies.
But the corporation
that felt frustrating.
A corporation is not going to be on board unless they understand what the value of the program is.
Correct. I agree with you.
And that's what we have to try to instill upon them is what the value is. And if you can get HR to buy into putting it in part of their development program, it becomes a bigger tie because now they're into it, right? And I was telling Mohan this the other day, we were talking about a corporate club. And I disagree with corporations paying for the membership dues. I absolutely disagree with it. I would encourage, and I never encouraged that when I was in that role. I would encourage them to pay the charter fee And if they wanted to pay the one-time new member fee, okay. Don't pay the membership fee because you want the members to have some sort of skin in the game. Now, over the years, I've evolved my belief on that to say, if we can get HR to buy into it and sell it as a educational reimbursement program, where, hey, you have to pay up front, but at the end of the year, if the club reports that you've achieved X number or complete X number of levels, attended so many meetings, took on a couple leadership roles, we'll reimburse you 100%. Okay? That's no different than education programs at companies
Right, to
right
see
now.
that the members investing in it and it's helping them with
Yep.
what their job duties are.
Yep,
Because when the
absolutely.
company pays, from the experience with the clubs in my area, even you're battling people's time, not their money, and sometimes that's a harder battle to win
Yeah.
when money's not involved.
Yeah. Time is always going to be
Yep.
the key because you can't manufacture more of it. And
No, you can't. Yep.
1 hour clubs have the biggest challenge because it's really a 50-minute club at that point. By the 5 minutes that take to start and the 5 minutes you have to leave early to get back to your desk, you get 1 or 2 speakers in. If you've got a big club, nobody's getting a speaking slot. How long do you think they're going to stay?
The one club that the Gamma Gabbers are pretty good at that. It was hard for me as the area director to get any time with any of the officers because they're in at 11:59. They're back at their desk at 1 o'clock.
Yep.
There's no
Yep.
before or after time, but they ran speechathons. They had meetings where they did Toastmasters, the whole club, but no one was entering anything into pathways.
There you go.
They were all giving speeches, but weren't bought into the other end. But I was able to make a slow dent in that because they're distinguished finally. But they did maximize. They ran interesting meetings and maximized the time they were there. It's just hard to get any time with the officers if you don't work there
And I
because of
think,
time.
and Jim, I see your hand. I'll go to you in 1 minute. But I think, Carla, you just made a statement there that's imperative for all clubs to remember. The meetings have to be fun. They have to be interesting. They
Yep.
can't just be something that's droning on and on and on. And the other thing is, if you have a small club and you're trying to do an open house or you have guests, it's hard to convert guests at those meetings when there's only 3 members of your club showing up. And the
Very
agenda,
hard.
you're fighting the agenda at the minute everybody shows up to try to get it to happen. One of the clubs that I'm aware of has gotten to the point where their membership base has gotten very large, and it's become a challenge to get people speaking slots. So they're thinking of starting to either take guests when guests arrive, offer them other options of clubs that are in the immediate area, essentially meeting at the same time as an alternative to their club, which is great because that can help foster clubs that are struggling and help them grow as well. But you also have to, look at how that plays out. You can also do joint open houses with 2 or 3 clubs doing an open house at the same time and see where those guests fall out at.
I definitely agree that more communication amongst the area directors on what different clubs do to give different clubs ideas is a positive thing. The Gamma Gabbers had a 1 hour speechathon. They gave 8 speeches in 60 minutes, and you were handed a stapled paper packet of evaluations that you just had to fill out in between.
Yep.
But sometimes you get stuck and you can't think of anything outside of the box, so it's good to have communication. Because
Sure.
every club's got one unique thing. That's what I enjoy about going to different clubs, is finding out what that is.
Yep,
And
I
seeing
agree.
how I can bring that to my club. Thank you.
All right, Colette. Jim, what's on your mind, Jim?
I am grateful for a strong membership in my club, and I am grateful for my president and my VPE, which has certainly cast a vision, and we anticipate reaching Smedley Distinguished this month.
Mm-hmm.
I am trying to understand how to reach the club members, we'll just say on the fringes. We have a membership in the 30s, but there are definitely members who attend very rarely. And some of them are seasoned members, like a charter member who's now a subdivision manager and travels and this and that. But if they're newer members or in the 1 to 2 year members, that's where I'm concerned. How do we reach out to those members who don't seem to be engaged to try and help them get engaged?
Does the club do a newsletter?
No.
So a newsletter with a meeting recap can be a lot of fun. You can put those, list those that were in attendance, maybe those that weren't, not try to embarrass them, but hey, you were missed at this meeting. Here's what you missed out on. Right. And then get that encouragement. There's also nothing wrong with a one-on-one conversation with members, asking them, hey, why is it that we're not seeing you? We've missed you. You give great speeches in the past. You were actively involved. Is there something we can do to bring you back? You just don't know what's going on in people's lives. It may not be the club. It may be may be something outside of it. And there's nothing wrong with that one-on-one conversation.
Okay.
See, it's funny. We become a communication group that have communicated through text, cell phone text, email, instant messaging, WhatsApp, WeChat, Facebook Messenger. But the only time we talk to people face to face in our club is if they're at the club. We never try to reach out to them beside that. I mean, as far as I know, communication for me doesn't start at 7 p.m. and end at 9 o'clock when my club meeting ends, right? I've got to be able to talk to people. And I think that's the challenge, is that we don't do that. But I think a newsletter with a meeting recap is a great way to do it. Recognizes guests, so you make sure you send it to guests too, because now they feel they were part of it, right? Part of the program. Gets them something special. And talk about those individuals who took on active role, and then say, hey, you know what? You should have been a part of this. It was a great time.
Thank you very much.
All right, Mohan, you got 3 more minutes.
Come on. You should. One more volunteer to ask a question. Anil?
So I'll ask one, and anyone can answer it. What are you going to do differently over the next 14 days that you didn't do up to this point?
I will answer mine.
I've got one already. Preeti. Hey, Preeti.
Hi, Richard.
How are you?
I am doing well. Thank you. And I really feel encouraged after listening to all your wisdom. I think I am going to try the newsletter option that you just shared. We do at our corporate clubs, we do share the newsletter, but that's like monthly or maybe in 6 weeks. Because we really have a resource crunch who would be creative enough to spend time, though we do have AI tools so who can help us now. But I think recognizing members, even if they are new or even if they are guests, is very important because that helps all of us to, feel privileged and feel happy that, this club is so welcoming. And I think I'm going to try that for my club.
Excellent. And Preeti, here's what I would suggest. Develop a template for your club newsletter so that you don't have to keep reinventing it each time. You just drop things into place as you go. So it's a one template, consistent across the board, makes it so much easier. But I like that. Let me know how it works.
I will. Thank you.
Yep. Mohan had mentioned something earlier about Betty Ann, and he's not sure how she managed to do what she did. And there was somebody who posted something in the chats, may have been directly to me, so I'm not going to mention who it was, about calling people directly. I can tell you this with the absolute faith that Betty Ann spent more time on the phone in the last couple weeks of the Toastmasters year, calling individuals, encouraging them, knowing exactly what they needed for themselves. It wasn't about, hey, the club needs this. It was, do you know you need to give one more speech to achieve your level 5? And you will have achieved this goal for yourself? There were times where she was on the phone constantly. Personal contact means more to people than anything else. It's very hard to misinterpret written word. It's a lot harder to misinterpret it when you're talking to people directly. So take the time, pick up the phone. Mr. District Director, I have now reached the 45-minute mark on this. I live by one motto: start on time, end on time, and respect people's time.
Fortunately, we have been doing that consistently in this year, sir. We always take pride in this. Thank you very much. It is 8:45 as per the agenda. 8:45 till 9. It's a question and answer session. Not about Richard's speech. He answered more than I expected. Thank you, sir. And I will stay here until 9 p.m. If you have any questions about District 53, feel free to ask me. The question that you hesitated to ask Richard, you can ask me. I will stay here. Otherwise, if you are done, you can always go and spend with your family. I will stay here until 9 p.m. Thank you very much. Thanks, everyone. But I will stay.
Good night.
Jim has his hand raised, Mohan.
Yes, sir. Jim.
At least 2 division directors and some area directors have learned that the area director report option in the district central has disappeared as of June 1. And many of us were saying, why is that? I admit I have been an area director for 2 years, and I do not remember that happened in June of 2025. Unfortunately, those of us who are area directors, and certainly those who are division directors, would like to get that information and pass it on to new area directors whenever they have that opportunity. And the fact that they have all been, I am thankful that I did download all of my area director reports as soon as I submitted them. But those who did not have that opportunity are wondering why that feature of District Central is now missing. If you could, I don't expect you to have an answer, but I am asking you to communicate with those of you, those of your contacts at World Headquarters, and say, why is this missing?
If I can just jump in, Jim, first, I feel your frustration. It is very challenging when a resource that is useful suddenly disappears, especially when it seems to happen without warning. So I feel the frustration. And 2, I want to encourage you. Yes, it's certainly Mohan, Liz, or I. We absolutely can reach out to World Headquarters and call them, because we do that. We call them quite frequently. But so can you. Anyone on this call, especially area directors and division directors, you are district leaders. It is just as well within your purview to go ahead and reach out to World Headquarters. We can, but we don't need to do it on your behalf. You are absolutely able to do it for yourself. And World Headquarters will happily talk to you just as they will happily talk to us. So I just wanted to put that out there.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Jackie. Anil?
Sorry, Mohan, I was in mute. And firstly, I want to thank you all for adding us in this meeting. We are the upcoming leaders for this district, and I was very glad to be part of this meeting, and I was very glad to to be continued with the district leaders in the upcoming year. So I just have a question, like by seeing all the reports today, like I was very happy and very glad that each and every area director and each and every district directors and division directors are doing very great groundwork and keeping all the records up to date and documenting everything. I just want to know like how frequently we will be conducting these DEC meetings. Just want to make sure. I want to know like
Yeah.
it's quarterly meeting,
Yeah.
Mohan?
No, deck meeting is every alternate month. Every
Alternate month. Okay. Okay. Got
every
it.
2 months. Yeah. Once
And
in
okay. And all those reports, I think I seen like from the starting to end, each and every area division directors presented. But I think even all the division directors will be working with the areas and to all the document everything. Just want to make sure, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Uh,
So you will be trained on that, Anil. For others, Anil accepted to be area director for next year. That's why he's asking. So you will be trained on that, Anil. So
yeah. Thanks for the update, Mohan. Yeah. Now I'm clear. Like, but every alternate month we will be continuing with this deck meeting. Thank you.
yeah. Rashna, Irene, any questions? We have 9 minutes.
I had a question.
Yep.
I was trying to find how do I find out the requirements for the area director distinguished? Is that in the area? I was looking in the Toastmasters website. Is that in the area success plan?
Jackie can answer that. Yeah.
Irene, just to clarify, are you asking what are the requirements for any area to become distinguished or better?
Yes.
If you can figure out that algorithm, please let me know. It seems to be a more heavily guarded secret than the algorithm that New York Times uses for its bestseller list.
Okay. Okay. So I'm not missing. Okay, great. Because it's easy to figure out how a club is distinguished.
Mm-hmm.
So, Irene, there is a district recognition handbook that breaks down for clubs. I don't know if it includes clubs, but it has it for area, division, and district. I believe, like for the division, to be distinguished, I have to have 40, I believe it's 45% of my clubs have to be distinguished and no losses. So I have to maintain whatever I start with. For select, they've upped these a little from last year. It's 50%, and you have to have one net gain. And for presidents, you have to have 55% and 2 new clubs in your division. But if you look at that report, and if you don't have it, Irene, I can send it to you. It does break down what you need to do to be distinguished, select and president for areas.
Okay.
It doesn't quite, Sharon, I appreciate that. It doesn't quite balance for me because when I was taking a look at the dashboard, it seemed like with some of the successes that our clubs have been having, that clubs that areas that should therefore be distinguished are not yet distinguished, and it feels a little slippery to me. So I'm glad that there's a formula out there that seems to work. I'm skeptical of it. I'm just taking a look right now. Like, for example, area 33 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, has 5 clubs plus a newly chartered club. So that's 6. And out of those 6 clubs, one of them is Smedley and another one is distinguished. And yet that area is not distinguished. And
Because
that doesn't
for that
make sense
area,
to me.
they need to have 3. Because if
It
it's
doesn't make sense
more,
to me.
if you have more than 4, If you have 5, you have to have 3.
Yeah, it's
So
at least
they only
50%.
have 2, which would be why they're not distinguished.
Yeah.
I didn't make the rules, Jackie, but that's basically what it says in that document. You have to not have a net loss, and you have to have 50%. And don't hold me to the percentages because I don't know them because they change slightly. But for area, I believe it's if you had 4 clubs, you have to have 2 clubs at a distinguished status to be distinguished, and 3 clubs to be select. And I believe 1 new additional club to be, and at least 3 clubs distinguished to be president.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Is that right, Mohan?
Yeah, it's right.
Yeah.
Out of 4, 2. If it is a 5, at least 3 clubs to be distinguished.
Yeah, it doesn't pay Irene to have 5 clubs because then you got to have 3. They round it up.
True.
Yeah, Irene,
I figured I was not going to get distinguished this year because I lost a club at the very beginning of the year. But I'm hoping that doesn't happen next year.
But Irene, at least we'll be happy to take few new clubs, okay?
Yes.
We are receptive to that, new clubs.
Thank you.
Phil, go ahead, sir. Phil.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Mohan. The question I had is simple, and maybe I could call TI directly to ask this question, but it regards additional paths and pathways. Any member can purchase as many paths as they wish. Is that correct? Up
Yes,
until
yes.
And get it for the current offering of $20 versus paying more on July 1st, right?
Yes, yeah, there's no limit on number of paths you can buy.
Okay, and they just get added to your base camp, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And how about the vintage paths? Are these, I mean, I went through the CTM program years ago and many of the advanced manuals, and they're $60. Is that because they're sending you printed material for those paths?
I don't understand the logic. Maybe Liz, Sharon, do you have any logic behind that expensive? Maybe
Just curious.
old cars are expensive, similar to that vintage.
My
Vintage?
guess is that the higher price is because of maybe they needed the charge extra because of the not maintenance, but like the revival of the old materials. I can't justify it either,
Yeah,
Phil.
okay.
I don't know why they're
Yeah.
more expensive for a PDF.
Yeah.
I was just curious because I have a lot of the old manuals, including the CTM manual, and if it's just a regurgitation, then I'd be better off just working with the legacy past. But I wanted to have that information in case anybody asked me. So thank you.
I just had one extra question regarding that. I just want to verify those vintage paths, although I'm not going to get one, they do count towards the DTM? Yeah, okay. I just want to verify.
Yes. So I don't know, you heard from Andrew Watt, lot of leaders, Irene, don't give any speech for free. Seriously. You can ask anyone. Somewhere you speak for a few minutes, any place, it would fit somewhere, some project. So take the credit. Andrew Watt told me 5 years ago, Mohan, never ever do anything for free in Toastmasters. Take the credit. Uta, are you there? I don't see you. I see some grayish. Okay. Come on, Uta, why are you
No,
hiding?
I'm here, and I must admit I love the new old pass, and I happily pay $60 for it.
Wow.
Because it takes 12 speeches, and you run through through one level. 12 speeches. That's all. I have to be Toastmaster and whatever, but I think it's simple. And whoever is a CTM now, they will be surprised because the manuals are from way before that, from the 50s. So you're really driving back.
Yeah.
But you don't get these videos, you don't get these clicks you have to do. It's all gone. It's just to me, it's a pure delight. So I will do
Thank you.
both paths. Yes, do them. Forget the money.
Thank you for the insight. Okay.
Yes, I love it.
So Irene, Phil, had I recorded all my speeches before Pathways, believe me, I would have got at least 2 more DTMs, Jackie.
Yes.
I'm not kidding. I gave close to 200 speeches before I spoke about Pathways, and I did not record anything. I just went there, spoke on multiple times. Yeah. Okay. It is 9 o'clock. Thank you very much, and see you soon. Please
All
register
right.
for
Thank you.
Hall of Fame. Register for Hall of Fame. See you soon. Good
See you.
night.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mohan.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Jackie.
you.
Thank you, Liz.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.